welcome to another edition of Texas Local Live. I'm your host, Ben Martinek. Tonight we got Mr. Dillion Myers of the Dillion Myers Band on. How you doing, man?
What's up, buddy?
Dude, nothing much. Hanging out, just shooting the crap over there with you guys.
This is This is really neat. Thanks for having me out.
Yeah, no, thanks for being here.
This is my first time here.
At the,
I didn't really know what to expect.
At the ranch
but,
here, yeah.
I was looking. I saw on the sign just said the ranch and a bunch of other little restaurants right here.
Dude, this is a nice
thing is huge.
Yeah, this place is massive. We're on the outside area, and this is seating 250 maybe. I mean, gosh dang, it's crazy. It's got a patio back here. It gets a little bit cooler.
Good craft beers.
Great beers over here. We're plugging up the ranch. Thank you, Ranch, for coming out, for letting us come out here, I should say. We're in Las Colinas, if you don't know where that is. You can Google it. Find us
I don't know that I've ever really spent time out here either.
Yeah, man. It's a good spot.
It's all around good day. New things. That's what it's about. Experiences.
New things. The first thing I got to know, though, about the experience factor is why'd you get into music? Why music? What got you here?
I didn't really catch the bug till later on in my life. I started playing guitar when I was, I want to say 16.
Yeah.
It's pretty late, I suppose, in the grand scheme of things. And I did my first open mic night at Hanks and McKinney when I was 18 years old, I think.
Awesome.
And the manager came up, or the owner, excuse me, David.
Mm-hmm.
He came up to me and said, "Hey, we'd like to have you back sometime. We thought you did a good job." So I said, "Cool. Yeah, I could have fun Wednesday nights in between, going to school and whatnot."
Heck yeah.
So I did that for about, 6 or 7 months, and I went to school at UTA, and my first ever show was opening for Cody Johnson.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So that was the first time I ever hit the stage. I got to watch Cody Johnson back with this old band with one guy plays with George Strait's band now. Chris Witten is his name, fiddle player. Anyway, they were excellent, and it was for a fraternity that I was going to rush. However, I quit school that semester after I did that, and I was like, I want to do this. This is too cool.
This is it, yeah.
And I was doing more open mic nights, just trying to get established in some way, shape, or form, find a voice, find a style. And I had a guy named Taylor Hodak see me at an open mic night, asked me if I was going to record anything. I said, yeah, I've got something working with a guy named Cody Riley. I don't know if y'all are familiar with him.
No, I'm not familiar.
He said, no, we're going to go to Bismo Studios in Austin, which is owned by Ray Benson of Asleep at the Wheel. Willie and the Wheel, legendary. So I get there, and this is my first time putting on the cans and getting in a booth, and I'm at this legend studio, and I'm working with I'm the last person to record on a board that recorded people like Elvis.
Right.
I'm just
soaking
it all in.
Room,
yeah, man, it was such a gratifying experience to finally just see it come to fruition.
Yeah, absolutely.
And have people notice you and love your talent and want to say, hey, man, I want to help you. I like what you're doing.
Yeah.
Let me introduce you to the folks I know. Sometimes within the scene, there's a lot of competition. Everybody's trying to get theirs. So sometimes you run into people who really aren't as willing to connect.
Yeah.
And
put
I
up
suppose
the wall a little
exactly.
bit of a barrier, yeah.
Give anything as much as somebody should give somebody, I suppose.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got to record and put out a CD, and I got to get on TV, and I got to play with guys like Wade Bowen and Kyle Park, and just done a lot of really, really cool things.
That's very cool, man.
It just never left, honestly.
Yeah,
it just
what a crazy...
kept progressing. So I said, I guess until the gas runs out, I'm going to ride this bus.
Keep on. I like it.
Well.
Keep on rolling with it, man. Why stop now?
That's what I said.
Why would you, man? Yeah. When did you get out to Hanks? That's where I played my first open mic to break the scene, actually. Yeah.
You were there, too? When did you start?
I was there in, 2010, I think, was the first time I played.
Really?
Yeah.
I was, 09. Okay.
Yeah,
so we had to have been...
Very cool. Maybe a little bit overlap there. I might have played with you. And I went to UTA also, which is
really?
also fun. Yeah, it was later. I just graduated a few years back, but... it was.
No kidding.
Yeah, I was there. I used to play at Jared Bentley's. Actually, I play there every now and then still, and a little
That's
English
neat,
pub.
man.
Yeah, man. Small world, dude. Crazy.
Yeah, no kidding.
Crazy small world. Yeah.
Well, the last time I was at Hanks, I was playing with Kyle Park. I've done quite a few dates with him this year. That was, I think, last month.
Oh yeah.
That was the last
crazy,
time
man.
I was there, and in the meantime, that was pretty much the end of our spring to summer run. We had a bunch of shows in April, May, June, and then. Of course, as I was telling you earlier, I had a guy named Rodney Pyatt really take me under his wing. He's a legendary guitar player in Texas and really wanted to help me get reestablished and redo some things and just give me some wisdom. He knows a lot more than I do. He's been doing it
absorb it,
for a long time. For those of you who don't know, this guy's played with Selena, and he did a lot of Stoney LaRue's work. He's played with Rick Trevino, just done a lot of amazing stuff and has traveled the world. I mean, he's been on international tours.
A wealth of
That's got to be the coolest thing in the world.
Dude,
So he's a pretty cultured guy and knows his stuff and said, I want to help you. Let's get some things fixed behind the scenes so we can move you forward. And I said, hey, I'm all about it, man. I'd love some direction. So any help I can get, I'm more than happy to get.
See, that's the thing, man. A lot of people are, and you're pretty humble in that regard, man. You're able to accept that. Some people won't do that, man. That's a shame because,
oh man,
if you got talent, you kind of get this weird.
You got to treat your people right too. Pay them what they're worth, and be good to folks, and don't have a big inflated head about you, thinking that you're owed something.
Yeah, but no one has to take
go out there and
their
earn
wing.
this.
No one has to do
There's nothing owed to you, period.
No.
So I mean, there's some guys in the scene that are able to just absolutely blow up after 2 or 3 years. We've seen it multiple times.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's some guys that, you take the 10-year grind and however long, and there's different measures of success, and you see a lot of guys that have done their 10 years, so to speak, are doing national tours now, man. They're all up and down both coasts and into the Midwest, just basically every landlocked state, and they're killing it. And that's just from hard work. So, there's no formula to it. No. It's just you take the help you can get. You have to, otherwise you're going nowhere.
We talked about it earlier with the guys over there, man, having a drink, and it's not for the faint of heart, man. If you're going to do it, you got to crank out and keep going because you never know. You never know. It could be 5 years from now, the song you just wrote a week ago is going to blow up, and you're going to be
a lot of little victories too, man. Like
that's true too. Keep it going.
And you just got to keep it going and keep it working. When I first started, I remember playing in the freezing rain. And it's like 33 degrees outside, 34, and I played for 3 hours, and I didn't complain once, and I'm getting paid, 10% of the bars in College Station on a December night. I mean, Northgate's kind of shut down at that point, so I would make, $10-15, but that's just paying your dues. It's grinding it out and doing it, and I've lived all up and down 35 playing music, so it's just there's no better existence to me, regardless of
that's awesome.
If you're making $1 million or if you're just paying the bills and you're treating it like any other job.
Sure. Million's nice.
It's hard to beat. There's a lot more goodies attached to it.
Oh, yeah.
Bar tabs and hanging out with you guys.
Oh, yeah.
See what I'm talking about?
Man.
Making friends.
That's exactly right, man. Trying to have people out that we want to hang out with, man. It's actually worked out. We were talking about that, too. We've had tons of great artists on here, man. Cannot complain at all.
Yeah, how long y'all been doing this
awesome.
now?
About a year. Well, we've been doing the interviews at least a year now. Yeah, I think it was August is when we really kicked it off. July of last year, almost a year. Actually, we're knocking on the year of actually coming to fruition. But here at the ranch here, it's been not as long, maybe 8 months or so. Yeah,
we appreciate you guys as much as you appreciate us.
We can't do this without y'all, so that's the whole point. That's exactly
it's mutual.
Why.
Let's hug after this.
Yeah, we'll do a big group hug after this, guys. You guys should get deer to the ranch if you're not here yet. You got to come down here some Monday night and check us out.
Are we live?
Well, we are actually we're not right now, but it doesn't matter. They're gonna still see all this on YouTube, and we're here every Monday, so. Come on with it and join the group.
It won't be too long. This show will be syndicated, man.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Hop on an FM
We are on
station.
radios. We're getting on some radio stations too, so we can get some stuff broadcast. So
all right,
get this pre-recording, getting out to the airwaves, man. Get your tunes out on the waves. So I want to move on now. I want to really like to know what your writing process is, and maybe a little bit of your insight on the road, man. You traveled, you got into a lot in Texas for sure.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear a little bit of that, man.
As far as traveling goes, I've been as far as Oregon. I got a chance to play Miss Rodeo Oregon's, what was it? Coronation is what it was.
Oh, cool.
And I got it's like a 36-hour trip, and I did it solo. I drove an 18-hour stretch, and then do the math, I guess another 18 hours, whatever. So I get two of these long stretches, and I hop out of the truck, and I've got these like Under Armour slacks, or not slacks, but like sweatpants on, and some tennis shoes, and a Captain America shirt, and my glasses, and I look terrible. I look absolutely terrible. And the first thing that happens is there's people taking pictures of me for the newspaper when I hop out of the truck. I said, y'all, at least give me a chance to. I'm at the hotel.
Yeah.
Let me go in and freshen. Give me 15 minutes. I look so dumb right now. And so I got back to Texas after all that, and Katie, Miss Rodeo Oregon, sent me a picture of it in the newspaper, and it's just my head down, almost like telling the cameraman to go away, getting my little bellhop on my guitar. I look terrible. Yeah, I look like stage 5 hungover in that picture.
Great,
but
dude. That's
people
awesome.
don't know that I just got done driving about a 36-hour bit in 2 days.
By yourself.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And you go through Idaho,
Dude.
and you go through some of these portions of the state where there's
The road
you're
looks
1,000 miles from home, number one. It's
yeah.
not like there's somebody in the vicinity who's like, yeah, I can come help you. You don't know anything.
No.
And the houses are miles and miles apart. Even in like New Mexico, you go through some pretty rough towns that just look desolate and they're nasty.
Nothing there.
So if you break down, and you're that far from home and no cell phone service and you're in the middle of potato country, what are you going to do?
You're knocking on
what
a door
are you gonna
do?
It's always creeping on you.
Yeah.
And the trip up there is so much worse because every mile you go is a mile further from people who can help you.
Yep.
When you're coming back, it's a little bit easier.
That's good.
Yeah, as far as Texas goes, man, I've lived up and down the 35 area. I graduated after going to, I think, 8 different school districts in my life.
Wow.
So I traveled a lot. I even did a little bit of time in Steamboat Springs, Colorado.
Oh, cool.
I spent 6 months up there and at high school, so that was really cool.
That
Culture
is cool.
shock for being a Texas kid. I mean, boots and jeans and stuff. There's like 3 or 4 kids in the whole school that wear that. Everybody else is in their Billabong stuff and their skater shoes, just giving me the worst kind of looks I've ever had in my life, man. It was pretty tough to make friends there at first, just because I stuck out, and it was a big school-ish, but it wasn't so big that you were going to go unnoticed if you just kept your head down.
Right.
Like, you see everybody all the time.
Oh, yeah, high school, man. You know what's going on.
And it's Steamboat. So, I mean, it's a small town. It's ski capital of the U.S., so everybody's just kind of a little bit stuck up there. There's quite a bit of money flowing through there, and they don't really like the tourists. So I had to, become a local in their eyes, so to speak, and just kind of go through the rites of passage, whatever those may be.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much my story as far as living places,
cool,
man. I've been to so many different places that I've called home. So it'd be
awesome.
Take a whole interview to talk about all of them.
Well, we could do another show about your living situation. We'll show a slideshow of pictures and throw that underneath where you've been, man.
Sweet, yeah.
What about your experience on the road in terms of music and what you've been playing, like and the audiences and things like that?
I've actually played some really cool stuff. I've done Whitewater Amphitheater. I've done like Hurricane Harry's. I played with Wade Bowen there one time, and that was one of the funnest shows of my life. Not only because Wade is a fantastic dude, but just the Aggie crowd back in the day when we were there, or when I was there in like 2011 or 2012, was just the rowdiest group of folks you could possibly play in front of. And Wade's music is not necessarily like heavy where it's out there and really trying to get in your face, but it might as well have been Pantera out there, the way the crowd was just going wild. So playing that was definitely one of the highlights for me. Outside of that, just touring a lot of different dance halls. I played a lot of big Texas dance halls, some Electric Cowboys, kind of just mid-level stuff, man. I haven't gotten a chance to really play some huge venues and play to capacity, but it's a step up from where I used to be.
Oh man, you're moving.
Playing to nobody in 33-degree weather, man.
You're
so
moving.
It's all about the climb for sure. Thanks, Miley Cyrus. Giving me some talking points.
I was wondering.
The climb. I had to mention that.
Every week
I got to bet with somebody.
It's
how many
Miley
Miley Cyrus lyrics can I fit into one interview?
I think that's definitely number one. Yeah, we might have to keep the streak going though from now.
Watch out! I'm gonna come in just like a wrecking ball.
We gotta save some. Come on. I think how many more she got? Let's save a couple.
That's the only 2 songs I know.
Let's save whatever we can, man.
That's the only 2 I think I know.
I'm failing now. Now I'm thinking about that. That's awful. Anyway, moving on from Miley. Hannah Montana maybe is next.
How about that transition? That's
a great segue. Oh my gosh,
that's insane.
So it's, when you're obviously got a little bit of experience, like I said, out on the road. Give us something for the person that's about to play their open mic night, their first one, like you did at Hank's. On that 2009 era.
Embrace the nerves. I've never been more nervous for something in my life. When your first time, I mean, you're throwing yourselves to the wolves, and you're very much in your head, and you're going to screw up pretty bad unless you're just extremely practiced. And but I mean, if you're an amateur all around and performing, embrace the nerves. I love that. That's the fuel. It really is. It gets addicting.
It really does.
Battling those butterflies and getting out there, and
I heard some quote.
There's
and
hundreds of screaming people out there facing a stage, and you're about to play. There's not a better feeling than that. I guess maybe if there's thousands. I guess in stages, but I mean,
same feeling though. It's just amplified, right?
Exactly.
It's just you're turning it up.
It's beautiful, man.
There's some quote about that where those butterfly feelings you want to every single moment in life that has that butterfly feeling or is a feeling that solidifies your life. You grow from that point,
I agree.
Right? And it's something that carries on. That's not even the quote, but I can't remember.
There's a lot of lessons you learn just doing this and quite literally being an entrepreneur. I mean, that's what all of us are.
That's exactly what musicians are.
This is a business. You're selling yourself. You're selling your music. You're selling your personality, your image. I mean, there's a whole package that goes into this. You can't just look like a bum, get on stage, play some, weird songs and expect to do anything. I mean, you got to work this stuff, and you got to find a voice, and you got to figure out just who you are, not only as a writer, but when you explore your whole life and your experiences through music, you get a better idea on who you are just as a person.
Yeah.
And that changes naturally through time, and you watch how it changes within your lyrics and within your writing. I know looking at my Creo album that I did at Bismo I think I released it in 2012, just looking at the music that I have on there compared to what I'm writing now, and even what was on Little River, I wrote all those songs directly after I got done with Creo. And unfortunately, I didn't get to record them until about 3 some odd years later. But I had committed to it. I wanted to get this Little River album out and talk about a place I lived in. You just see the different stages of how your writing gets better and how much more of yourself you inject into your music and how much your life experiences just start to dictate exactly what's going to go on that paper.
Yeah.
So nobody's, no two people are exactly alike.
Right.
And when you hear two people that are alike, they're just copycat and they're not really expressing themselves.
Sure. Or someone else is telling them what to get
sounds like
after.
everything else. Yeah,
it's coming
absolutely.
from one brain. Yeah. Yeah, that is the beauty of it, man, and that is something, like you said, just own it and embrace, like you said, embrace the feeling, but embrace yourself, and the musician is you. I think that's the biggest thing too, is when you finally say, you are just kind of calling yourself a musician now. You're not a musician and this guy. You're not Dillon and the musician. You are a musician,
right.
And that's you, and that embraces what you are in life.
Becomes part of your identity.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
you write that way, and you
sure.
start to sing that way, and you start to strum that way, and you're finding rhythms that way, and you're moving that way on stage, and it's just really interesting to see it all encompassed together. And
that's the reason it's one of the hardest careers to quit and really just just even call it a day.
I agree with that. Yeah,
just because you're creating, and some people like it, and that's gratifying. Way more than just getting a product and getting paid for it. When somebody is just pleased or their life has changed or in some way they're affected, whether it be negatively or positively,
like 99% of the population
having that effect, you can't put a price tag on that.
No.
And when it comes in huge droves, sometimes you really can't put a price.
Yeah.
I mean, you hope you're getting paid.
Sure.
Sometimes club promoters aren't necessarily the most trusting of individuals.
Well, that's when you can start to get the business.
Waylon Jennings ran into one of those guys one time and blew up his club with dynamite. He didn't get paid. Blew it up with dynamite. That's
one way to do it.
So, outside of that, man, it's not something you can really quantize and just say, I would quit this for X amount of dollars, because you can't replicate that feeling with money at all.
Absolutely not. Not at all. Well, tell us what you got coming up this year, Dillon, man. What's going down for the rest of 2018?
Well, I'm gearing up for the studio right now. I've got basically a brand new band rolling with me now. Like I was telling you earlier, Rodney Pyatt, he's going to start rolling with me and helping me out in a lot of different areas. My new bass player's name is Guillermo. And he used to do stadium tours in Mexico. He used to play with some high-profile bands.
Cool.
Dude, he steals the show. It's insane to try to outperform this guy. That's great. He's just so into it, and he loves it. Loves country music. And he played a lot of the conjunto old school music, the old school Spanish music. Mm-hmm. He played a lot of that, and his dad had perfect pitch and wanted to make sure he was a great musician. So he had a very structured musical childhood.
Huh.
And now he's like, I've done just about everything I could do as far as being a musician. I've played on some of the world's biggest stages. I just do it for the love now.
Yeah.
And that's basically the same semblance that Rodney has. He's like, I've literally played on the world stage and been on some records that have gotten played for millions of people. Yeah. That's pretty neat.
Huh.
So now I can sit back and do what I want to, and I can help out people. And so just in these last couple months, I've found these guys who after so long of playing and getting out there, who are like, hey, I can help.
Yeah.
I'd like to help.
Yeah.
Sure. Come on with it.
So awesome, man.
Yeah. It's a lot of behind the scenes building right now, getting a new set reworked and getting our marketing plan kind of situated and start establishing it and getting it sent out and putting it into effect. it's just there's so much behind the scenes that people don't understand. It's not really fly by the seat of your pants, wake up and write songs and go play.
Well, it is, but you're not going to get anywhere if you're
absolutely
not planning something
and there's
ahead.
a lot of stuff that I didn't know to do that I'm learning that I have to do.
Exactly. Yes,
there's a lot of stuff that never would have crossed my mind.
Yeah.
Not to mention I'm really one of the worst when it comes to keeping up with social media. I absolutely hate just having to write and post and all that stuff. I just want to play.
Yep.
I don't want to deal with all that. It's an absolute necessary evil, and after looking at some, I wouldn't call them studies, but one of Rodney's previous bands did some kind of networking research, and as far as advertising on, they were able to grow some of their Facebook pages and Twitter followings, I mean, exponentially with just minimal amounts of advertising investment, just doing it right. So little stuff I would have never thought to do as far as advertising and running that kind of stuff. You would think that would come naturally to say, hey, I need to advertise.
Right.
But it's much more of doing it effectively rather than just advertising.
Yes,
there's a huge difference there.
Versus targeting.
So now that I know how to advertise effectively, I'm actually excited to do it because I can see results, and I don't feel like I'm just doing it because I feel like I have to, I suppose.
Very cool.
So I'm learning a lot. I'm always learning.
Awesome, man.
And hopefully going to put that plan into effect here pretty quick by the end of this year and hit the festival circuit in 2019. There's a lot of big festivals that reached out and that I've reached out to that hopefully we're going to ink some deals with and take it another level forward, man.
Sure.
One step at a time.
Dude, that's what you got to do, man. So where can we find you? I know you got social media, but tell us where to find your stuff before we get out of here.
You know what? Side story. Every time I go play a show in a town that I've never been, just either to go visit or just to kind of get some extra reach, go try a place, get out, do whatever. If it's not one of my main markets, my name on the sign is spelled wrong. Both names. I mean, it's in my email and my Facebook and all this stuff, and I hate rolling up to these little venues, and it's spelled Dillion Myers or something to that effect. So if you do look me up, don't be like those guys. It's spelled Dillon Myers, and you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I think my MySpace page is still up and running.
Get it going.
I don't know that I ever canceled it.
Throwback. I like it.
Top 8 me.
Yeah.
I think,
Top 8.
Hey, remember when it got transferred like top 64 and your page is like a mile long?
Yeah.
Those are the good old days.
Top 8 with Tom. So you got 7
YouTube
more.
and my website's DillonMyers.com. I'm hoping those are the only websites I'm on.
Yeah. It may not hurt you, though, man. Maybe get some more publicity out of the thing. Yeah,
that's not what I meant.
That's
definitely not what I meant.
Depending on the site.
I did have a neat article written about me not too long ago.
Oh?
Y'all know anything about the Little River album? Y'all ever?
Well, little.
No?
So I did there?
Y'all don't read the newspaper? I was in the newspaper.
You were in the newspaper?
I was in the newspaper.
Oh.
I had a little editorial.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice.
That is neat. That's the first
really
time
cool.
that, in Texas at least, that I've been in a newspaper.
Publicized, yeah.
See, when the one in Oregon that they did all the pictures for and everything was just talking about business and tourism in Oregon, and they did like a little minor talking point about me, like the music business involves this guy, Dillion Myers, coming from, so-and-so. But this is the first time I was actually in print.
It was like your spot, yeah. Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah, that was really neat.
Badass.
So,
well, cool.
Little victories, man.
Dude, little victories. Hopefully you have some more coming in 2019 with the new band kicking off, man. We really hope to see you around. Let us know if we can help when you get that thing rolling again, too. We'd love to be able to help you start out that year, man.
Heck
whatever we can do.
I'm all about it. Thanks,
we're going to have some music here tonight. If you get down here every Monday night, Las Colinas, the ranch, get to hear some amazing artists, and Dillon's one of them. Going to be added to the list. You're going to see his stuff up here.
That's correct.
All the music coming
I'm
up here
pretty
as
amazing,
well, man.
right?
We're excited about you. He's amazing. We haven't heard him play live, and he's amazing.
I love it. Fishing for compliments
yes,
over
sir.
here. Reeling them in.
Dylan, thanks for chatting, man.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Get some tunes next.
Well, I'm a songwriter by trade. It's my favorite thing in the world to do. This particular song is about spoiling your woman. All right. It's called All the Way to the Moon. So instead of getting getting dressed, breakfast in bed is all done and come. And I adore your smiles and me, so baby, it ain't no problem. In fact, it's a pleasure I'll always treasure, not one moment forgot. 'Cause I love you all the way to the moon and back. Well, I called work, you know I said you couldn't make it, so you stay here and let me take care of the sickness that you'll face. And I planned on just doing all the chores and even taking your car to the shop to fix the shocks and the noise that it's been making. 'Cause I love you all the way to the moon and back. Oh, I love you all the way to the moon and back. And by the way, your book's later this evening. I paper time at the spa, take a friend along and get you both a full treat. 'Cause you deserve the whole wide world and feel the way I'm feeling. Well, I'm the luckiest guy just to call you mine, and darling, I mean all your happiness and even all your stress I'll share with you. Whether you're crying tears or smiling ear to ear, I'll be with you. And I'll be the best man I can be, 'cause I love you all the way to the